22, Chicago, 2001. Greysen's breath quickened as his chest rose and fell in dramatic waves. He latched onto one of the computers and typed code into the keyboard as quick as his fingers would allow. Luckily, the security measures were easy to get past for him. They would probably send any computer nerd into the ringer, but not Greysen. He was calm, collected, and did what he needed to do. It didn't take long to install the malware he'd written to take down the man who was out cold on the floor behind him. Once the virus was installed, it would worm through the company's files and encrypt them so Humavision could no longer access the data without a key to unlock it. A key that only Greysen would know. He'd written the malware a while back, never thought he'd have to use it. Of course, if he'd handed his hard drive over to Trace earlier today and unsecured it for him, there's no doubt he would have found it. When he finished the installation, he backed from his work and turned to Edric. A single thought struck his mind. He could leave here now. His work was done. Or I could speak the language he understands. Greysen squeezed his eyes shut and opened them again. He reached up and swiped the sweat pearls on his forehead with the back of his hand. He pulled the same hand out in front of his face and observed the chains bound tightly around his wrists. Edric enjoyed his theatrics, so theatrics he would get. The chains were heavy. Heavy enough to do some damage. He slammed his chained wrists down on the keyboard nearest to him, smashing it to bits. His heart raced as the nerves circulated through his veins like liquid adrenaline had replaced every ounce of blood in his body. He threw his wrists into one of the computer monitors. Glass shattered. Sparks spewed from the screen. Greysen jerked back and threw up his arms to shield his face. The blood seeped from his wrists, and he shook his head as he turned away.